Welcome to Shun, an indie horror game, or pixelated retro indie horror game. Yeah, we're just gonna get into it. Don't get close, unsafe, be safe. Bring the package. Be careful, steer clear, stay away from them, can't be trusted. Keep your distance, we need you. Bring it to us. There's something we're supposed to stay away from. Something. This thing? Are these people? I just feel like he and I should go out more often. Is that too much to ask? Are you guys evil? I'm gonna have to fix my mouse and see. I'll hit escape, no? I'll change my mouse DPI. There we go, this is perfect. I think we have the gist. I don't need to read the game store page. We're supposed to deliver a package to a location and avoid something. The movement feels interesting. I want to buy a 1C, but no, it won't suit me. Okay. Sure. I don't trust this tunnel, but yeah. Just like in that previous game where I went in the tunnel, it was kind of evil. We're going to ignore that one, though. I am counting my calories, yet I really want dessert. Weird? Are these people... It's like they're posing to be human and saying human things. Where do they want me to go? Wait. No. Not over the car. No. No. Huh. Maybe I have to read the game store page. I don't... Yeah, let's read the game store page. Well, where's my mouse cursor? First prize at Retro Game 2019. You emerge out of a dark corridor, and its walls are warnings. Stay away from them, don't get close, keep your distance, and bring the package. You venture out to find the package, and bring it back where you came from. We wanted Shun to be an open interpretation as possible, however, we had a specific idea of what themes we wanted to depict. We recommend playing the game and exploring your own interpretation before reading the next section. Sure. Package. The only thing I'd imagine is the package is that cardboard box. But they're basically saying get the box and bring it back to the tunnel. And don't go near these people. We don't know if they're really people or not. Oh, there we go. It's like supposed to be some kind of like symbolic game about people being racist or something. Because they're having normal conversations. If you like tuna and tomato sauce, try combining the two. It's really not as bad as it sounds. I'm going to imagine it's a project about differences or judging people. Like the game is telling me not to trust them. So it's opening you to the concept... Wait, is that guy... Oh, that guy moves. It's opening you to the possible bias of the first thing you learn is all these people are bad people. So you have like some kind of paranoia about them. I'm going to presume none of them are bad. She borrowed the book from him many years ago and hasn't returned it. There's no evidence to support the claims that these are bad people or fake. The waves were crashing on the shore. It was a lovely night. Unless one of them starts fucking bolting towards me and making screechy noises. I really want to go to work, but I am too sick to drive. I mean, does the game just repeat, or is this just literally the game is just doing it once? She always speaks to him in a loud voice. I think I have to do it repeatedly. She borrowed the book, okay. Just random conversations, more or less. Is that it? Do it 3 times and that's it? The game depicts an abusive relationship, be it between an individual and a religious organization, a romantic partner, or the government. The physical and emotional isolation of the victim from the people around them is a common method of abuse and control. The abuser becomes the only person the victim can trust. With this game, we wanted to explore that relationship of control, paranoia, and isolation. The test, whether or not players would blindly obey the dogmas we push upon them or question them. I mean, I questioned it because you listed the game as a horror game. Yes, tags are horror. I wouldn't call it a horror game because this is not horror. This is, it's just not horror. So I wouldn't say it is me being biased of the dogma of, as I was saying originally, the messages in the tunnels prepare you for the implication that bad things are happening and you shouldn't trust anyone. It's a horror game, so you take its word for it. If you didn't call it a horror game, then people would probably question it if they knew it wasn't a horror game. Since it's a horror game, it's going to insinuate that there's going to be horrifying elements. I wouldn't consider philosophical and symbolic questionings of abusive relationships or abusive institutions or abusive organizations or religions to be horror related. So it is a mislabeling or a mistag in my personal opinion above all. Otherwise, then you could be like, well, Neco, you're very paranoid about them at first. Well, yeah, that's because I was expecting them to do a 180 and fucking, like, screech and jump at me and shit. But then I learned, oh, it's an experimental game about abuse. It's not horror. So, I don't know. Then it's just, they were having normal conversations. None of them turned, so I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to just take the word that they're all just people. But then again, my own innate nature is to question everything. Everything is a variable, everything's to be questioned, and a question should never be perceived in a negative light, because to question things is to beget intelligence. You have children who ask questions nonstop. Like, consider, like, a child in the car and they're saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Or, why? It's because a child is hungry for knowledge. They're hungry to have answers, to be given knowledge. A question is never inherently bad. But as an adult, you have it so like kids can question you to the lengths of them asking why, until an adult goes insane. Because an adult is so self-aware about answers and the lack thereof of answers that they will break down. Because a lot of humans, or the average human, likely gets into... They have to feed themselves, in some essences, cognitive dissonance on the fact that they don't know everything. So they have to sort of have barriers of self-defense mechanisms and... what else? Well, self-defense mechanisms and try to blur the lines of what is an insecurity and what is just the lack of knowledge or what is anything around that sort of thing. So to ask a question is the most... what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not, I guess, in a mood for good, big, fat vocabularies right now to sound all big brain. But most people should know what I mean. It's to be inquisitive of everything. If anyone hates on you for asking too many questions, I just fuck them. for you to ask questions about everything should be how all humans are. Once you stop asking questions and you turn to some kind of template where you challenge everyone, like anyone who you disagree with or anyone who you perceive as an opponent or everyone who's on another side of the political spectrum, anything like that. If you disagree with them and your first thing is to challenge them or ignore them or hate on them, rather than ask an infinite amount of questions, or if you ask a question and they hate you for it because you're probing into their interests in a way that causes insecurity, then you'll easily know who's in the wrong and who's in the right. The person who hates being asked questions is the person who's ignorant. The person who loves answering questions is the one that loves to give knowledge and is hungry for knowledge, hungry to provide knowledge. And in a book's term, that is called the maven. The maven are the information people. They love to teach, they love to explain, they love to answer questions, they love to be the info hub. Because there's the book? There's the book, it's Malcolm Gladwell's The Tipping Point, where they talk about the one with the connections, the mavens, and not the inventors. What was it? There's three of them. There's the connections, the web of connections guy, the mavens, who are the info givers and the info loving people, like they're computers for knowledge, and then the salesman, I think, is the third one. The salesmen are like the very charismatic, very, like, they can talk and convince you super easily. And those gifted people who are mavens, connectors, and salesmen are very rare amongst the public. But when you find any of them, you'll know them. You'll be able to see that they stand out from the rest of humanity. But either way, questioning. It's just question everything. If people hate you for questioning, they're ignorant or stupid. But you're never in the wrong for asking questions. That's why if you're in any form of abuse of anything, or abuse of religion, abuse of anything, or, you know, you're like a prisoner of sorts, or as this game store page uses the wording, isolation, or you're a victim of something, just ask questions. The more you learn, the more expanded your mind becomes. I ask everything always. In my family, or when I'm at work, when I'm outside, I ask as many questions as I want so I understand everything I can, or everything that I give a shit about. And the amount of times I get people who just get tired of me asking all the questions, even though me asking questions is for the benefit of everyone, so I can understand everything better. The amount of times I get people being like, ugh, questions? It's like, you think like the opposite is good? That if I don't ask questions and I just act like I know everything, that makes me a better person, or that makes it so I can do a better job? No, fuck off. Asking questions. Anyone who hates you for asking questions, point at the fucking too long don't read. Always ask questions. If anyone is an inquisitive type, they're smart people. Everyone who questions, questioning people, and people that question everything so they can learn, always question. Just non-stop. Never end. Never stop asking questions. Never. Because that is a sign of intelligence and a hunger for growth. Once you stop asking questions, you know what that means? It means you're going to cease growing. You're going to stagnate, and you're going to slowly become ignorant, and you will not realize it. You have to always ask questions, always learn, up until you fucking die. And that's my 2 cents. I hope you enjoyed my rant and the short video game. If you did, please leave a like, comment, hit that subscribe button, become a subscriber, hit the bell notification down below for updates on my videos. Thank you for watching, and until the next time.